For problem number 19 in the MCQ, we've got a complex circuit here and a switch, and we are trying to figure out how the brightness changes when we go from the switch being closed and then the switch is open. So when the switch is closed, and when we're talking about brightness, we're talking about power. Power is directly related to brightness, and our equation for power is IV. Now, the thing about using this equation, which is the equation in your equation sheet, is the fact that when I open and close the switch, the current is going to change, and so is the voltage drop through each resistor. So I have too many moving parts and too many variables to take into consideration. And so what I want to do is, since the light bulb itself has its own resistance, and whether I open and close the switch or not, that resistance stays the same, I want to find a new power equation that involves R, so I don't have too many moving variables. So I take my VIR equation, and you can decide to substitute it in a different way, but I'm going to plug in IR for V, and so my new power equation is equal to I squared R. This stays constant, and so when I go from closed to open, I need to figure out how the current is going to change. So let's focus on bulb 3 for now. If I start with a closed circuit, originally my other two resistors are in parallel. So that means that I've got a low resistance because resistors in parallel actually decrease the resistance versus even one resistor in series. So what ends up happening when I open my circuit is that the current is going to travel through the closed path, and now it becomes series. So my resistor from closed to open increases resistance, and by increasing resistance, I decrease my current. And since I decrease my current and my resistance stays the same, for bulb 3 at least, I'm going to end up with a dimmer bulb. So that eliminates 3 of my options. Now this is for 3. Now let's look at 2 right here. So my bulb for 2 is, when it is closed, it ends up receiving, so here in this scenario, when the bulb is closed, it ends up receiving just a portion of the current that's flowing through. So the current is definitely going to decrease from the total current of the battery. So when I close this circuit, when I end up closing it, all the current from the battery is going to go through my resistor. So clearly the current is going to increase, and because the resistance stays the same, in this scenario, current increases, resistance stays the same, and therefore the bulb is going to get brighter, not dimmer, and A is your answer for problem 19.